I'm sorry about the interruption. Let's see. All right, so you guys can go ahead and start asking questions about traveling to the island here. I'm just gonna go ahead and share this link groups and let everyone know there's a new link. I haven't live streamed in a long time, so just getting back into it. Had some issues. All right, we have 8 people watching, so go ahead and start asking your questions on traveling to Puerto Rico. I can basically answer anything when it comes to transportation on the island. I've been here for 5 years and I have had a decent amount of time exploring. So let's see here. We have 11 people here. Like I mentioned, I'm just gonna go ahead and post this link here in the groups. All right. So yeah, I'm super excited to be just giving people guidance. I think one thing that I'm super passionate about is people coming to Puerto Rico, having a very positive experience, having a smooth way of traveling. Puerto Rico can kind of be tricky when it comes to traveling here and finding the hidden gems. There's a lot of things that are closed. In some ways, Puerto Rico is still recovering from Hurricane Maria. And so I think it's really important to have the opportunity to speak with someone who does live here and they can give you really good guidance. I had a friend that was visiting and she came to Puerto Rico, and I kind of even gave her an itinerary, and she kind of sort of like loosely followed it, but then her last like half of her travel, we just started doing things every single day, and she's like, wow, like being actually with a local really does enhance the experience and make it significantly better. So Pat Vegas said, everyone hit the like button and share. Yes, thank you. That definitely helps. Yes, I am doing well. Don't forget the good Puerto Rican food at your local Walmart in any town. Pat, I'm gonna need you to explain a little bit further on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start when it comes to transportation. So I have been actually thinking about this in particular a lot lately. And when it comes to San Juan specifically, I do think that you can kind of hit it all in 1 to 2 days. But that also then depends on how you particularly travel. So for example, if you're more of a slow paced, let's say you're a little bit older, you're not as mobile, then I would say maybe 2 days to get through San Juan, just because Old San Juan can be a lot because you have to do a lot of walking in Old San Juan. But I think that overall between 1 and 2 days, you can kind of hit San Juan and see all that you need to see if you have proper guidance. I would say that one really, really great way to see all of San Juan, like let's say you are just short on time, you only have one single day in San Juan specifically, and you want to get out and you want to go to the west side, or just visit a lot of small beach towns or head out to Culebra, a scooter is absolutely where it's at. When I first got to Puerto Rico, I purchased a scooter and I was able to see a lot in a short period of time. And what's so great about a scooter is that, first of all, it's very fuel efficient. You can get around very easily. You can park anywhere, and you get the full experience by being in an open air vehicle. You get to see the views from a different perspective. Like, I would say it's like, seeing the world in black and white and then seeing the world in color as soon as I get on a scooter. So I actually do scooter rentals. If you want to check out, I have a link down below for that. But you definitely need a car to explore outside of Puerto Rico. So, it's outside of San Juan. So many big attractions are anywhere between 45 minutes and 2 hours away. If you're trying to get to the west side of the island, that's 2.5 hours. So a car is absolutely necessary to kind of get out and explore. If you're traveling to Puerto Rico, this time of year, cars are an amazing deal, actually. So although you run the risk of facing a hurricane, you can get car rentals for a fraction of the price compared to the months of June, July, and August. So I do rent Jeeps and other vehicles. I have a link down below, Jeep Rental Puerto Rico. we have no hidden fees. And so after spending my first 3 years in Puerto Rico with no car and experiencing all the car rental companies and how terrible of an experience it was, I wanted to change that, because the first thing you do when you get to this island is you get your car rental, right? And I think it's important for that to be a positive experience to set the tone for your entire stay. So, someone asked, do you have a traditional Puerto Rican house? Can we have a house tour? Well, I guess, what does traditional mean? Traditional, modern, contemporary. Not the last place I lived, the place before did feel very Puerto Rican. It had some old sand wine. What are your favorite beaches in Puerto Rico? The Northeast, Southeast? Ooh, okay. So, I mean, when it comes to Culebra, everyone talks about Flamenco, which is an incredible beach, but I love Zoni Beach. That's definitely one of my favorites. I believe I was in that area. I think it has the black sand beach. Let's see here. Mar Chiquita, that's a beach that a lot of people go to, but the waves totally kicked my ass last time I was there, or 2 times ago. And getting in and out is super. It's like, okay, favorite in what aspect when you're referring to beaches? Is it the swimming component? Is it the lounging component? Is it the texture and the color of the sand component? Is it the amenities nearby? I feel like I need it to be a little bit more detailed. Let's see. Too many beaches in Culebra. Do you plan on staying forever or have? So, I don't know. I feel pretty rooted when it comes to my life here in Puerto Rico. I don't anticipate leaving all that. I was definitely living a very decentralized life for an extended period of time, but I've kind of centralized myself here with the responsible day here, and so it's hard to leave. I mean, it's just a beautiful and amazing place. So, let's see here. When it comes to, I guess I'll dive a little bit more when it comes to transportation. One thing that people, I would say, 24/7, yes. 24/7, you can get an Uber or a taxi in the San Juan area, and specifically going in and out of SJU. So that is no problem there. When it comes to car rentals, I would say there is a lot to be aware of for car rentals. So when you go on Expedia and you type in your travel date, when you get to the counter. So there's a few additional expenses that come through. One is tolls. So I actually had to rent a car myself recently. They charged $10 to activate the toll pass, and then it was $10 every day for unlimited tolls. At my car rental company, we do not charge extra for tolls. We really focus on zero component of our business that we're really proud of. And so another aspect is insurance. So you'll show up and you'll say you have your credit card insurance, that you're stating that you have coverage in Puerto Rico. So if you want to bring that letter, that'll definitely help you, because in most cases they know that you're not going to be able to get that for that additional insurance. Another thing to be very cautious of, let's see, cautious of would be, what is it? When you drop off your vehicle. So for example, I rented a vehicle and there were no mats in the back seat, and there was a little bit of sand back there, nothing excessive. And I'll get into the details of it not being excessive. So I dropped off the vehicle, and then they basically told me that they were going to charge me for sand, but we're going to give you a deal and only charge you $150. So I went home and I got my cordless vacuum cleaner. I cleaned up in 5 minutes. Let's see here. My Spanish, it's getting a little bit better. It's not going very well, but my main problem with Spanish is that, I'm just afraid to mess up, which is not cool at all. I would say let's go over some recommendations when it comes to Old San Juan. So Cannon Club is a must that you have to hit up. Cannon Club, and I would say, and that is just such a vibe. If you can get there a little bit early, make sure you get a good seat. And if you're not too familiar with the layout of Cannon Club, ask if you could get shown around and head up to the rooftop, which is really beautiful. The journey up, I mean, the rooftop is cool, but I think what I actually enjoy more is the journey to get to this cute little table during the day right next to the window. That is a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy that. Let's see. Everyone always talks about malls. I have some plates that I really enjoyed. Let's see. For my main course, I got the beef. That was, oh my gosh, the flavors. It's like such an in-depth flavor experience. Very much so, quite enjoyable. And for a good snack in Old San Juan, birria y empanadas is delicious. They have all these different sauces that you could try. Awesome way to explore San Juan because you can hit so much in such a short period of time. And I think it's very easy to maybe, let's say if you're staying in Condado, you're gonna Uber into Old San Juan, and then you plan on walking around, which is not a bad idea, but I'm telling you right now, the type of heat this time of year is so intense. You should definitely bring some hydration packets with you to stay properly hydrated, and you're gonna die out very, very quickly with the type of heat. For me, like I go to the beach and I lay out for 40 minutes and I'm just toast. I mean, I don't look like toast. I'm not that dark. I wish I was, but I really do turn in. Isla Verde area in Ocean Park, you can rent bird scooters, the electric scooters that you scan the QR code and you're on your way. But those are actually banned in Old San Juan. But you can take a gas 150cc scooter into Old San Juan. So that I highly recommend that because you can do all of Old San Juan for sunset to Piñones. So that is my favorite ride, just cruising the coastline all through Piñones until you get to the very end. What do you do to make friends? You have a roommate or you have the whole place to yourself? Let's see. Making friends is really easy in Puerto Rico. To making friends on the island. So there's WhatsApp groups, you can get into some beach tennis, weekend hiking. There's a foodie group. I'm not really sure if that one's active or not, but just about anything. People come here, they're very open, they want to connect. So Puerto Rico, let's see here. Heat exhaustion happens quickly. Yeah, I think that people frequently ask what is the one thing that you wish you would have packed that you didn't pack? And I would say most people never think about it, but some hydration packets. I'm not talking about liquid IV. I brand blood sugar and not properly hydrate you, but Element definitely will give you more life to explore as much as possible. The heat that we're experiencing this year in Puerto Rico feels very different and a lot more intense compared to any other year because I'm always here. Hurricane season is super intense. I mean, it's tolerable, but you definitely just have to pace yourself. Appreciate that. So yeah, when I first came to Puerto Rico, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make content around Puerto Rico. I made all those things, and I quickly turned and started doing all the fasting videos, but I'm definitely grateful because I actually met a lot of people through that. So now that's my first channel, but I moved the Puerto Rican content over to this channel here. So I would say let's talk about different areas of where you can stay in Puerto Rico. Miles, and then you hit the Condado area, you go about another mile. Park. Another mile, you hit Isla Verde. Kind of sorted, you know, if you're just gonna stay 3 days, it's not that much in Old San Juan. I personally like the quietness of Ocean Park, but if you're looking for big hotels, there's a lot of those in Isla Verde as well. So yeah, I would like to see, like, what other questions do you guys have about people kind of just come, they plan things, they don't have a ton of guidance. Rented a trike from me for the day, and he was telling me that he had a swimming with turtles excursion the next day in Culebra. And you know, I'm located in San Juan, and he was like, yeah, you know, I booked this tour swimming with the turtles. No idea. And he's like, so I'm like scrambling on trying to get there. Luckily it's low season, right? He was able to get the next day. He's like, I might be stuck here because I'm waiting to see if by any chance there's some extra tickets for me to head back to the mainland tonight. So one thing to think about when you're booking excursions is figuring out the location logistically. For example, you know, if you're doing like the Bio Bay that area and you're driving all the way there and all the way back, like that could be a bit on the extensive side. So understanding kind of the landscape of Puerto Rico. I think that many people actually think it's a lot smaller than it is, but not about 2.5 hours. Driving from north to south is about an hour and a half. There's 3 million people that live here, so definitely not. Specifically, the Azorian Islands, those are perfectly small for me, like 50,000 people. So, so yeah, do you guys have any other questions? I mean, just the island, when it comes to hotels, finding the best airfare, all those things. Let's see here. So I'm not really sure about the incentives and the longevity of them. I personally haven't seen anyone talking about one police officer at a time on Culebra in a 24-hour period and not a real system. That may be true, but at the end of the day, I don't live my life in fear. I focus on the things I can control. If I really want to see something, that's not going to be something that's going to stop me specifically. But everyone has their own threshold of what feels comfortable for them, and I think you got to stick with that. Let's see here. So I have a fun story. Let's see, this is several years ago. I went on a private, my friend's boat basically. So it was the Bio Bay tour in Vieques, Mosquito Bay, I believe it is. We dinghied in, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And so we all dinghied in, and then we started swimming in the water, which you can't do on the tours, and I think I figured out why. We got stung by jellyfish, but it was the most beautiful and amazing and magical experience that I would do it all over. How beautiful it really is. So one thing too that's really cool in Puerto Rico, there is a full moon drum circle. So the best way for me to describe how to get there would be if you go to Numero Uno beach restaurant and you enter the beach right there. During the full moon, there is a really cool beach, like a drum circle type thing. They have a big bonfire and they do these chants. It's really cool. And you know what? The beach at night, if you're gonna come to Puerto Rico and you are a beach person, I hadn't been to the beach at night in a really long time. I'm not really sure why I don't come to the beach more frequently at night. It is stunning, and especially on a full moon, it's still super illuminated. You can see the trees really well, like the ocean's just here during a full moon. then I definitely highly recommend the drum circle, which is really awesome. So I'm gonna just check in over here on Facebook. Let's see. I'm just gonna post. Yeah, so basically I'm having a really hard time posting these links in these travel groups because approval. Let's see here. Back to the comments. It's easy to have a very average, mediocre experience here, and getting some good guidance and advice is absolutely critical. And so yeah, when it comes to season and you're getting really intense heat, I would say though you can also consider the mountains of Puerto Rico, which are really, really beautiful. I would say that everyone comes to Puerto Rico and they is the tropical side, but getting out to the mountains is incredible. And one of my favorite things about Puerto Rico is it's driving to get lost, driving with no place in mind specifically, and you just stumble upon some of the coolest places. People just throw up their bars, super creative, like in the middle of nowhere. Here, how about golf? I think golf is a good subject. A lot of people come to Puerto Rico for golf, so some courses that I've golfed at that incredible. I absolutely love Bahia. Those last 2-3 holes just right along the ocean. It was sunset on, I think it's the 16th hole, and it had just got done raining and there was a rainbow. It was absolutely amazing. What else is some good golf? So Cocoa Beach is also really beautiful. Recommend. I've gone to the range, but I haven't golfed the actual course. I just haven't had the chance yet. But driving in, it was just green and luscious and beautiful. Let's see, Caguas. Caguas is amazing. Yellow Jacket Golf. So yeah, golf here is amazing. There's people that come in specifically just to golf. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I've started at the top. Like, this isn't good. Every other course I'm gonna have to compare to this. Like, this is my standard. This is actually kind of a problem. Let's see here. Any other questions from you guys? I'm here to answer all things Puerto Rico, how to get the local experience. One of my favorite things, and it was funny because I was talking to a local about it, and in Puerto Rico on the beaches, don't want to harm the turtles, but in Piñones, there's basically the beach, and then above the beach, there's basically like a sandy road that just goes right along the beach. And a Jeep for sure. And I actually took my trike through. It was absolutely stunning. Let's see. What are some of my favorite restaurants in Puerto Rico? Let's see. God bless to you too, Pat. So yes, let's see here. Is a good place to cover. So if you are headed to the rainforest, then you're probably going to spend some time in Luquillo, specifically the Luquillo kiosks. I love the pizza spot there, but I have a seat. No, it take like an hour for it to go order, and then it's like you just spent all day, either on a boat and you're coming back to Luquillo and you're just like, I need food immediately. But what is that sport called? It's basically like you put on air or the sky. I thought it was going to be super challenging and difficult. I really enjoy that experience. I think you can also do jet skis out there as well. If you're looking for like ATVs through the rainforest, horseback riding, outdoor activities, a lot like that, then Carabali, rainforest adventure. Let's see here. So if you're looking for a really fun breakfast experience, then Bistro Cafe in Isla Verde, it might be considered Punta Las Marias, is definitely incredible. Love their tacos, and their red pudding is a 10 out of 10. Oh, let's see, rooftops. I have a good rooftop recommendation. Let's see here. So Kumo, excuse me, Kumo rooftop, located in Isla Verde. Let's see. Jose Enrique, Condado area, really great recommendation for a And then obviously if you're in Old San Juan, you gotta hit up La Factoria. And the first few times I went there, just kept multiplying as you continued through the doors. So the door to get through, it almost looks like it's behind the bar and you're not supposed to go there, but you definitely can. All right, so I'm gonna probably be getting off in a few minutes just because there's not that many further questions from you guys. Would you guys prefer a little bit earlier? I think I would. I think I'd be a little bit more awake during the day compared to at night. So another good recommendation if you're looking for a day trip by boat trip, but Iquitos is definitely day trip material. So I have done the mini boat snorkeling in, you make it out to Iquitos. Those mini boats, let me tell you what, they jump. They get through those waves way better than I would have anticipated. Let's see here. You can also do a water taxi out to Iquitos, but I wouldn't recommend that just because it's not kind of be on the beach all day. I don't know. I would prefer going on a boat than getting dropped off by a taxi for sure. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off since there really aren't any other questions, but I enjoyed my Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being here. As always, go out and create a portfolio that you love and a life that you love. And I can definitely help you. Thank you for letting me know about the connection not being good. Because on my end, it says the connection's all right, but thanks for the feedback. So, hope you guys have a great evening and we will chat soon.